This is a great story about a woman who cared for her children. It's a story about kinship care, because without her sister taking responsibility for her son would have gone into long-term foster care in England. In 2009, I got a telephone call about a woman who was living in Calgary. What made the case different was that this was a woman from Uganda. For a variety of reasons, the mother couldn't stay in the UK, and she was able to go to Canada. With his mother in Calgary, Charles really had nobody who could care for him in Huddersfield. So he faced, at a very young age, the prospect of being in long-term foster care. Firstly, I went out to see the mother in Calgary, and I discovered that she'd got a sister who was living in Kampala, and secondly, she'd got a daughter there who was being brought up by her sister and by her grandmother. When she described the situation, I have connections with Uganda, and one of the other lawyers in the case who represented Charles had also the similar connection. So we knew Kampala. We were able to get an independent social worker to go to Uganda to see the compound. The aunt came across to the UK and was vetted by the local authority, and he then moved to go and live with his aunt. Whilst all this was going on, his mother was getting Canadian citizenship, and she had to get a visa to enable the children, because it was not just Charles but also his sister Chelsea, to come into Canada. She never gave up hope, but it was a very long process. When I first heard that she'd gone out to Kenya to do the visas, that was a very big step. It's a costly, both financially and emotionally, process, but for her it was worth it. The great thing about Canada is the opportunity. Both of them are going to good colleges. Chelsea is hoping to do a degree in HR. For Charles, his mum's so proud of him and his achievements in terms of maths. He's hoping to do a degree relating to computing. This is just a great chance, firstly, to be together as a family, but secondly, to seize an opportunity that perhaps when we began the case in 2009 never seemed possible. So kinship care works because it enables children to grow up with a sense of their own background. And everybody needs to have a sense of who they are. And for Charles, that experience gave him that opportunity not just to be with family, but also have a much greater understanding of his heritage. And he would have lost that completely if he had been brought up in England in foster care. What makes Ridley and Hall different is that we are prepared to try every option, firstly to keep families together, but when that isn't possible, it's to understand the importance of kinship care, of families. And in this case, the family were able to step in, give Charles his sense of identity, and then at the right time, move him on back to his family, back to his mother.